so this is a prelim exam from the Eastern Cape, which was written last year. So just going to be doing financial maths in this video. So these are the questions for the paper. We're just going to be starting from 7.1 all the way up to 7.3. Okay guys, so now let's solve this question here. Question 1, we are told that Cornell bought an ice cream machine that depreciates at 17% per annum on a reducing balance. The value of the machine depreciates to a book value of 27,763.12 over a period of 4 years. What was the original price of the machine? So there's two things that I need you to take note here. There's what we call a reducing balance method. So whenever they talk of the reducing balance method, always know that we are going to use the formula called a compound decay, which is A is equals to P into 1 minus I to the power of N, right? And when you're told about the book value, you know very well that they're talking of the value of A. A is the book value, right? So let's solve this question here. So we're having A is equals to P into 1 minus I to the power of N, and our A value is equals to 27,763.12. Our P is what we are looking for. Our N is 4 years, and I is given as 17% per annum. So just going to substitute that, and we have A is equals to P into 1 minus I to the power of N. I'm just writing the formula, and then you substitute A, which is 27,763.12, is equals to P, which is what is required, 1 minus our interest rate, we write it in percentage, is 0.17 to the power of 4 years. And then we divide by 1 minus 0.17 to the power of 4, divide by 1 minus 0.17 to the power of 4. Therefore, my P value is equals to, if you punch your calculator, you should get an amount of 58,500.005. So this is your P value for this question here. Let's do 7.2. So the statement reads as follows. After completing his studies, Lobalo decides to save money to buy himself a car for cash. He wants to save 300,000 Rand by making equal monthly payments into a savings account that pays an interest rate of 8% compounded monthly over a period of 7 years. How much must he deposit per month if he wants to achieve this goal? So Lebalo wants to have an amount of 300,000 Rand into the account, right? So he's making savings. He wants to save in a savings account. That's what it basically means. So if you just take note that this talks about savings account, you should note that we are talking of a future value annuity, FV, F subscript V, which is the future value annuity. So how would you know that you have to use the future value annuity formula? Is when a statement talks about the savings, when it talks about retirement funds, when it also talks about sinking funds, which we're going to talk more about in the following questions in other past papers. So this is what you need to note. Whenever a question talks about any of these three, then you know you have to use a future value annuity, right? Fine. So in this case, we are talking of savings. So we know very well that we're going to use the future value annuity formula, which we write it as FV is equals to X into 1 plus I to the power of N minus 1 divided by I, right? Of which our FV is going to be the total amount of our savings, which is 300,000 Rand. So it's going to be 300,000 Rand. And our X, which is the monthly payment, is what we are looking for, right? And our N is 7 years. Obviously, N is not the number of years here. Please note that. We're just going to multiply it by whatever that is compounded with. So in this case, we are compounding our interest rate monthly. So we're going to multiply by 12. So hence, This N basically means the number of payments. Don't make that mistake. So it's the number of payments, right? And then, so yeah, we have everything, and our I is given as 8.6% compounded monthly. So just going to substitute everything here and find our X value. So it's going to be 300,000 Rand is equals to X, which is what we are looking for. 1 plus our percentage, which is 8.6%, is going to be 0.086 divided by 12 because it's compounded monthly, to the power of 12 multiplied by the number of years, which is 7 minus 1, and then we divide by our I, which is 0.086 over 12. So we're going to cross multiply because we're looking for X, and we'll have 300,000 Rand multiplied by 0.086 over 12, right? It's equals to X into 1 plus 0.086 over 12 to the power of 12 times 7 minus 1, right? And then what we're going to do is just going to divide by this here, which is 1 plus 0.086 over 12 to the power of 12 times 7 minus 1, and we divide by it also here, so it's 1 plus 0.086 over 12 to the power of 12 times 7 minus 1. Your X value that you need to get, obviously when you write it properly, it's going to be 300,000 Rand multiplied by 0.086 over 12 divide by 1 plus 0.086 over 12 to the power of 12 times 7 minus 1, right? So it's going to look like this. Therefore, if you punch this into your calculator, you should get your X value being equals to 2,616.05. So this means that this person here must save this amount of money if they want to have 300,000 Rand into their account. So we're done with this question. Let's do another one. Let's do this question here. It reads as follows. Yolanda acquired a mortgage loan to buy a house. She was required to pay this amount monthly, and she was charged 10.4% of interest rate compounded monthly. Her payment period was 25 years, and first payment was made immediately after she took the loan. So 7.3.1, we are asked to calculate the total value of the mortgage loan. Remember, when you talk of the loan, you're talking of a present value annuity. So this is the formula that you need to use whenever the statement talks of a loan, right? Obviously, you need to check on how the statement is written, but whenever you're talking of a loan, you're talking of a present value annuity. So we're going to calculate the present value annuity of this problem here. So it's 1 minus into 1 plus I to the power of minus n divided by I, of which our X is going to be this 8,000 here. So it's 8,901 Rand 0.96 into 1 minus 1 plus our interest rate of 10.4, which is 0.104 over 12 because it's compounded monthly, and times 12 days, so it's going to be negative here, times 12 times 25 years. All right, and then you divide by 0.104 over 12. So the present value for this problem here, you should get something like 949,999.78. So it's 949,999.78. So this is the present value for this question here. Fine. Now we go to this follow-up question, which says that after 204 payments, Yolanda could only afford this amount of money per month going forward. Determine the outstanding balance after 204. So remember, in the previous question, we had the number of payments, n is equals to, if you look at this, it's 12 times 25. So it will give us 300 payments. So the number of payments were 300. So currently they're saying that we must calculate the outstanding balance after the 204 payments. So it's going to be n is equals to the 300 payments minus the 204 payments. It's going to give you 96 payments. Right? So you're just going to do the same thing that we did in the previous question by calculating the PV. PV is, so this is just the outstanding balance, right? Outstanding balance which is equals to, remember it's x into 1 minus into 1 plus I to the power of minus n all over I, which is equals to, so we're just going to, here at x, we're going to put in the 8,901.96. Maybe someone might ask, but why are you not using this 7,000? It's because just before this 204 payments, we were using this 8,901.96. Fine. So 1 minus into 1 plus, the interest rate 0.104 over 12 to the power of minus your payments of 96 divide by 0.104 over 12, right? So your outstanding balance, which is equals to your PV in this case, should get an amount of 578,555.55, no, not 555, but 551.2397. So this is your outstanding balance for this question here. Then B says that how long will it take for Yolanda to pay up the outstanding balance if she was allowed to pay the new installment? Remember, the new installment is 7,500 rands. So if she's allowed to pay this 7,500 rands using this outstanding balance, what is n, right? How long will she take? So just gonna use the same formula. PV is equals to x into, let me do this, oops. So it's going to be 1 minus into 1 plus I to the power of minus n divided by I. So our PV is going to be our outstanding balance. Remember, our outstanding balance is 578,551.2397 is equals to the amount that we are required to pay, or that we are allowed to pay. 1 minus into 1 plus our interest rate of 0.104 over 12 to the power of negative n. Remember, we're looking for n. Divide by 0.104 over 12. So what we'll do here is we're just going to cross multiply, and we have 578,551.2397 multiplied by the 0.104 over 12 is equals to 7,500, and then it's 1 minus into 1 plus 0.104 over 12 to the power of negative n, like this. Then you divide by the 7,500, so divide by 7,500, divide by 7,500, both sides, and we have 1 minus 1 plus 0.104 over 12 to the power of negative n. It's equals to 578,551.2397 multiplied by 0.104 over 12 divided by 7,500, right? And then we're going to transpose this one to the other side of the equation. Remain negative into 1 plus 0.104 over 12. You can see I haven't even calculated, I haven't used the calculator as yet, because I don't want to round off prematurely, right? 2397 multiplied by 0.104 over 12 divided by 7,500 minus 1. So if you can see, there's negative and negative here, and also this answer here is going to be negative. So what you get here is, so in this whole thing here, if you punch it in your calculator, you should get, let me just put equals to here, you get 0.33145, right? And then here on the left hand side, you should have 1.0087, right, to the power of negative n, and negative n is equals to the log of our base of 1.0087 and 0.33145, right? So, and then punch this into your calculator, you get a negative number of negative 127.48, right? Divide by negative both sides, we have n is equals to 127.48, 7.48. So they asked how long, so we need number of years. So these are number of payments. So you're just going to divide by 12. Why 12? Because remember our interest rate is compounded monthly. So just going to divide by 12, and our n is going to be 10.6 if I'm not mistaken years. Let me just punch through my calculator. 0.48 divided by 12. Yes, I'm getting 10.6 years. So this is the answer for this question here. So we are done with this video.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please write them down in the comment section below. Otherwise, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to click that bell button.